Welcome to the day 8 of the 12 days of Easter, and this also coincides with Wednesday, April 8th. I'm Mike O'Brien, one of the elders at Trinity Church, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the ultimate sacrifice, to die for another. And the scripture for this particular devotional is 1 John 3:16, which reads, "We know love by this, that he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren." And that's the New American Standard Version. And the second scripture that also goes along with this is John 15:13, which says, "Greater love has no one than this, that one lay down his life for his friends." Well, how can we relate to this ultimate sacrifice that God made by sending his Son and that Christ made by dying for us? Well, about the only way that we on this earth can relate is for us as humans to lay down our lives for another. And there's several examples of that, certainly in the military. The Congressional Medal of Honor is the highest ranking military award. It's sometimes called the Presidential Medal of Honor as well. And it's given to the bravest of the brave. It's for those who have laid down their lives for others on the battlefield. And it was established during the Civil War in 1861, and it's for exceptional acts of heroism that typically ends up with dying for others on the battlefield. And so far, since that Civil War time frame, there's been almost 3,500 recipients of that. But keep in mind, again, this is the highest award given, and it's awarded by the current president. Now, there's other military awards that are given for distinguished service, and the second one, in terms of rank, is the Distinguished Service Cross, and that is the Army's version of their highest award given out. And in this particular case, it is someone who has risked their life while displaying exceptional heroism, so very similar to the Medal of Honor. The similar awards in the Navy and the Air Force are the Navy Cross and the Air Force Cross. So those are examples of how we recognize those who have laid down their life for another. There are also civilian awards. Since 9/11 and the tragedy that happened back then, they came up with, in 2005, the 9/11 Heroes Medal of Honor. And that was given to, so far, over 440 public safety workers that were killed during the rescue efforts for the 9/11 tragedy. And there's also several other awards that are given by high-ranking government officials, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. However, typically that is not related to dying for someone else. It is just a recognition of some significant contribution of an individual. And the Congressional Gold Medal is the same type of an award. So those are the types of awards that we can relate to, military awards or civilian awards, where there's been exceptional acts of heroism or exceptional contributions to society. But in no way do they compare to the sacrifice of God giving us his Son and Jesus sacrificing his life for all of us. He not only suffered for us in the Garden of Gethsemane, and his blood actually came out of the pores of his skin, but of course he died on the cross and shed his blood for us there. He reestablished our ability to have communion with the Father, to have a relationship with the Father. Without that death, without his resurrection, we wouldn't have the salvation that we have as believers, and wouldn't have the ability to be in a relationship with the Father. Well, it's doubtful that we will ever be asked to die for another. We might, but it's highly unlikely that we'd be asked to die for another. So what kind of sacrifice are we asked to make as believers, as children of God? What's expected of us, and how can we sacrifice for others? Well, certainly in these times, it would be a demonstration of the fruits of us being a part of the family of God by reaching out to others, helping others, making sacrificial acts of gifts to others, or ways in which we can help others that are sacrificial on our own part. And certainly in the COVID-19 environment, we could be very open about sharing our faith, helping others with either physical or emotional needs, staying in touch with people through electronic devices, through Zoom video or through FaceTime or through Skype. Just making sure that we're meeting the needs of others in this type of electronic mechanism, electronic communication. Making trips to the grocery store for others, making trips to the pharmacy, any way in which we can help others with spiritual needs. Right now, a lot of people are concerned about their families and friends in other parts of the country, people that are in nursing homes, people that are in specialty care homes that cannot have any visitors in because of the quarantines. Being able to pray for them, being open about praying for them during this difficult time. Certainly those are ways in which we can show the fruits of the Spirit and show that we are, in fact, making a small sacrifice of some sort for others during this time. And of course, the last thing that we can do is celebrate the resurrection and the life of Christ that we have all been given. And so that is the message today, is to celebrate the gift that we've been given of life through the death of Christ, and also celebrate the resurrection.